One road trip, 3 friends, and a lifetime of memories. In August 1994, I was turning 20 and planning a cross-country road trip to New York City. Danny and Dave were my partners in this adventure. This time we spent together helped to forge 2 of my oldest and dearest friendships. We left at 5 p.m. August 12, 1994. We planned our trip so that we could see as much of the country as possible. We started north to Missouri. After a good night's sleep in Joplin, we drove to St. Louis. We saw the Arch, a beaver, and some other weird stuff. It was my first time to see the Mississippi River. I was really impressed. With at least 15 hours of driving ahead of us, we got back on the road. We drove all night long. On August 14th, 1994, my 20th birthday, we made it to Middletown, New York. This was mine and Danny's first time to the eastern U.S., and it was different. The style of houses were different, people spoke differently, but the 70-degree weather in August, that was different. The Curtis family was so kind and welcomed us to their house. They made me a birthday cake, and I even got my own room. Our first couple of days in New York, we visited some tourist spots, like West Point and New Paltz. It was fun, but maybe this wasn't the right place for our group. On the 3rd day, we got in the car and on the Palisades Parkway for the 1.5-hour drive to New York City. I'm a small town girl, and cities don't get much larger than New York City. It was amazing. All I could do was look up. Times Square seemed like something from out of this world. We spent the whole day and most of the night there. I rode the subway. We saw all the landmarks. I walked in Central Park and enjoyed every minute of it with these 2 great guys. For our trip home, we made an overnight stop in Philadelphia to visit some more of Dave's family. Then the next morning, we drove to Washington, D.C. We stopped at the Vietnam Memorial and the Washington Monument. We made some questionable fashion choices, but we had so much fun. Then we got the idea to walk down to the Capitol. In case you're not aware, that's about a 2-mile walk. But we made it to the Capitol eventually, before it was back in the car and another 20 hours on the road. For our last stop on this road trip home, we went to Memphis, Tennessee to see Graceland. By this time I was out of film. You remember film, right? Well, I was out, so I don't have any pictures, but we walked through Graceland, then it was back in the car for the final leg of our journey. 2 weeks, 14 states, and over 50 hours in the car. I came home to Texas, 20 years old, and with what felt like a lifetime of memories. Danny eventually moved to the West Coast, settling down in San Diego. Dave moved back home to Middletown. We kept in touch, and I was able to visit both of them. The last time we were together was when they came back to Texas for my wedding. We lost Dave a few years ago. Even though he's not been a part of my day-to-day life for many years, I miss him every day. The time I spent with these guys was some of the best of my life. I will never forget this one amazing road trip.